Hey folks, now welcome to vocabulary lesson 128, the third part. So now we're going to be talking about salt and sodium right here. See? Salt and sodium in this whole paper here. The nutrition source, salt and sodium. Salt, also known as sodium chloride, is about 40% sodium and 60% chloride. It flavors food and is used as binder and stabilizer. It is also a food preservative, as bacteria can't thrive in the presence of a high amount of salt. The human body requires a small amount of sodium to conduct nerve impulses, contract and relax muscles, and maintain the proper balance of water and minerals. It is estimated that we need about 500 milligrams of sodium daily for these vital functions. But too much sodium in the diet can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. It can also cause calcium losses, some of which may be pulled from bone. Most Americans consume at least 1.5 teaspoons of salt per day, or about 3400 milligrams of sodium, which contains far more than our bodies need. Recommended amounts. The U.S. Dietary Reference Intake state that there is not enough evidence to establish a recommended dietary allowance or a toxic level for sodium, aside from chronic disease risk. Because of this, a tolerable upper intake level, UL, has not been established. A UL is the maximum daily intake, unlikely to cause harmful effects on health. Guidelines for adequate intakes, AI, of sodium were established based on the lowest levels of sodium intake used in randomized controlled trials that did not show a deficiency, like, I don't know, like DEFICIENCY, but that also allowed guidelines for no. Okay, here we go. I'm right over here. Okay. Show a deficiency, whatever that word is, but that also allowed for an adequate intake of nutritious foods naturally containing sodium for men and women 14 years of age and older, and pregnant women. The AI is 1500 milligrams a day. A chronic disease risk reduction, CDRR, intake has also been established based on the evidence of benefit of a reduced sodium intake on the risk of cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure. Reducing sodium intakes below the CDRR is expected to lower the risk of chronic disease in the general healthy population. The CDRR lists 2300 milligrams a day as the maximum amount to consume for chronic disease. Reduction for men and women 14 years of age and older, and pregnant women. Most reduction for men and women 14 years of age and older, and pregnant women. Most people in the U.S. consume more sodium than the AI or CDRR guidelines. Types of salt. finely ground salts are dense, so they tend to contain more sodium than coarser. Coarser. The coarser salts. Note that sodium content can vary widely among brands, so check the nutrition facts label for exact amounts. Alright, so here's a picture here. So here we go. Here and here. Here, 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 and here. Here and here, here and here. So over here, approximate amount of sodium in one teaspoon. That's iodized table salt fine, 2300 milligrams. Kosher salt coarse, 1920 milligrams. Kosher salt fine, diamond crystal, 1120 milligrams. Sea salt fine, 2120 milligrams. Sea salt coarse, 1560 milligrams. And there's the next one here. Pink Himalayan salt, 2200 milligrams. Black salt, 1150 / 2200 milligrams. Fleur de sel, FLEURDESEL, 1560 / 2320 milligrams. Potassium salt, salt substitute, 0 milligrams, contains 2760 / 3180 milligrams potassium. The inclusion of brand names on this list is for reference only and does not constitute an endorsement. The nutrition source does not endorse specific brands. Sodium in health. In most people, the kidneys have trouble keeping up with excess sodium, EXCESS, sodium in the blood. As sodium accumulates, the body holds onto water to dilute the sodium. This increases both the amount of fluid surrounding cells and the volume of blood in the bloodstream. Increased blood volume means more work for the heart and more pressure on blood vessels. Over time, the extra work and pressure can stiffen blood vessels, leading to high blood pressure, heart attack, and stroke. It can also lead to heart failure. There is some evidence that too much salt can damage the heart and aorta, aorta, and kidneys without increasing blood pressure, and that it may be bad for bones. 2. Learn more about the health risk and disease, which is cardiovascular disease, chronic kidney disease, osteoporosis, 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 whatever that word is. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it the right way, but whatever. Cancer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 4 things. Food sources. Sodium isn't generally a nutrient that you need to look for. It finds you. Almost any unprocessed food like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, meats, and dairy foods is low in sodium. Most of the salt in our diets comes from commercially prepared foods, not from salt added to cooking at home or even from salt added at the table before eating. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the top 10 sources of sodium in our diets include breads, rolls, pizza, sandwiches, cold. According to the Centers... No. Okay, I already said that already. Okay. The top 10 sources of sodium in our diets include breads, rolls, pizza, sandwiches, cold cuts, cured meats, soups, burritos, tacos, savory snacks, chips, popcorn, pretzels, cracker, chicken, cheese, eggs, omelets. And then next here, are natural salts healthier than table salt? Salt is harvested from salt mines or by evaporating ocean water. All types of salt are made of sodium chloride and the nutrient content varies minimally, although less processed salts contain small amounts of minerals. The amount is not enough to offer substantial nutritional benefit. Different salts are chosen mainly for flavor. The most widely used table salt is extracted from underground salt deposits. It is heavily processed to remove impurities, which may also remove trace minerals. It is then ground very fine, iodine, iodine, a trace mineral, was added to salt in 1924 to prevent goiter, goiter, and hypothyroidism. Never heard of that. hypothyroidism. I highlighted this word. So for next time, I'm going to teach that word. Medical conditions caused by iodine deficiency. Yeah. iodine. Table salt also often contains an anti-caking agent such as calcium silicate to prevent clumps from forming. Kosher salt is a coarsely grained salt named for its use in traditional kosher food preparation. Kosher salt does not typically contain iodine, iodine, but may have an anti-caking agent. Sea salt is produced by evaporating ocean or seawater. It is also composed mostly of sodium chloride, but sometimes contains small amounts of minerals like potassium, zinc, Zinc, sorry, and iron depending on where it was harvested, because it is not highly refined and ground like table salt. It may appear coarser and darker with an uneven color, indicating the remaining impurities and nutrients. Unfortunately, some of these impurities can contain metals found in the ocean, like lead. The coarseness, COARSENESS, and granule, GRANULE. Size will vary by brand. This is the Himalayan pink salt right here. This is a Himalayan pink salt right here. Himalayan pink salt is harvested from mines in Pakistan. Its pink hue, HUE, comes from small amounts of iron oxide, OXIDE. Similar to sea salt, it is less processed and refined, and therefore the crystals appear larger and contain small amounts of minerals, including iron, calcium, potassium, and magnesium. The word. Larger, coarser salt granules do not dissolve as easily or evenly in cooking but offer a burst of flavor. They are best used sprinkled onto meats and vegetables before cooking or immediately after. They should not be used in baking recipes. Keep in mind that measurements of different salts are not always interchangeable in recipes. Generally, sea salt and table salt can be interchanged if the granule size is similar. However, table salt tends to have more concentrated, saltier flavor than kosher salt, so the substitution is 1 teaspoon of table salt for about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of kosher salt depending on the brand. All right, folks. So I'm gonna have to stop for right now. So I'm gonna do the next video for that.